Hello, this is Jim with We Develop Electrical Products. Today we're going to be getting our Raspberry Pi powered up for the first time and install the first operating system. Some of the things you'll need to do this, I have a Raspberry Pi 4 here. You'll need a micro SD card. I've got a micro SD card here, and this one is a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, but you can use most any size you want. You'll need an SD card reader for the micro to flash it. And you'll need a power supply. This is just a USB brick. Make it 3 amps so it can have plenty of power. Then the cable is a USB A to USB C for doing the power to the Raspberry Pi. Then you'll need a mouse to set this up and a keyboard. And of course, you'll need a monitor. And so I'm going to be using that monitor. In order to use the monitor, you're going to need a HDMI micro connection to go to your monitor, because it uses the HDMI micro connection for the video. So I have a little converter here going from the micro HDMI to a regular HDMI connection to go to my monitor. So those are the things you'll need in order to do today's project. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my station, and you'll see more videos coming up. So the first thing we have to do is get the operating system on the Raspberry Pi, and we do that with the micro SD card. So we have the micro SD card here, and we have our smart reader that plugs into the USB port on our PC. We insert the micro SD card into the reader, and then the way we're going to find out which drive we want to format is we want to go to our window for our files, and we're going to plug it in to the USB port, and we're going to see which new drive comes up, and it's USB drive E. So USB drive E is the one that we want to format. Now in order to format that, what we want to do is we want to go to sdcard.org and go over to downloads, and I'm using Windows, so it's SD card formatter for Windows download, and we're going to download that. And you go down here to SD card formatter for Windows download, click on that, and go down to the bottom, and we want to accept this license agreement, and it'll download a zip file. And you don't want to run this from the zip file. I've already downloaded the zip file once before, so I'll navigate to that zip file, and I've got it in documents, and I've got it in SD card formatter, and you just go to the zip file and use the embedded Windows unzip and say extract here, and it'll extract it, and you open up that and go to the setup and double click on it, and it's preparing to install, and it's installing, and it's go to next, and do you accept the terms of the agreement, and you say you accept them, and click next, and next again, and install, and it'll take just a little bit of time, and it'll install them, and you say finish, and it'll launch the SD card formatter. So there it's launched, and select card. We're going to select E, and we're just going to call this Apple. We'll call it Pi. And we're going to do a quick format. And click on Format. Formatting will erase all the data in the card. We'll say yes. And it's formatted. Formatting was successfully completed. And click on OK. And we can go down here to our volume, and it's labeled Pi. So that's all you have to do in order to format. The next thing we have to do is get the operating system on this SD card, and that's what we'll be doing next. So now we're going to get the operating system on this SD card. The SD card has been formatted now, and it's an empty SD card. To get the operating system, you go to raspberrypi.org/downloads, and you'll come to this page. And I'm dealing with Windows, so you download the Raspberry Pi Imager for Windows, and just click on that link, and it'll download the exec file in the lower left-hand corner. And you say Open, and it'll open that file, and allow to make changes to the device. Say yes, and go ahead and install the Imager. And it's downloading, it's extracting all those files. And then it's finished, and it says, if I click on finish, it says up here, run Raspberry Pi Imager. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to run the Imager, and I'm going to choose the operating system that I want. So just click on that, and I'm just going to choose up here that I want the recommended, which is Raspberry Pi OS 32-bit, and choose my SD card. I want mounted E. That's what we had determined earlier. That's the E drive. Click on that, and then just click on write. And now it's going to write to that disk, and this will take some time. So I'll go away, and I'll be back when this is done. So it's going to go through a write cycle and to full 100%, and then it'll go through a verify cycle, a full 400 or 100%. So I'll be back as soon as that is completed. So that only took about 3 to 4 minutes, and we come up with this. You can safely remove the SD card from the reader now. So we'll click on continue, and close out the Raspberry Pi download. And now we've got our SD card here, and it's ready to be put in the Raspberry Pi and power it up. So that'll be our next task to do that. So okay, so now we've got the SD card flashed and placed inside the board. You just place it right in here in this direction, and then I have my video hooked up, which is a micro HDMI connection to my HDMI cord going to my monitor. And then now we're going to power it up, and so this is powered up. You see the power light is on, and over here on our monitor, I apologize for this way I'm videoing this, but I don't have a screen capture yet. It's resizing the root file system, and this is a Raspberry Pi 4 that we're using. Okay, and it's saying welcome to the desktop. And before you start, a few things you need to set up. Just click on next, and we'll set it up as my country is United States and American English, and use English language and US keyboard, and click on next. And it's setting the location and asking to please wait and enter a new password. I will type in a new password and confirm it. And hit next. And desktop should fill the full screen. It's not filling my full screen. I do have some black around it, so it has some black. We'll just check that and click next. And searching for networks. Let it find your network. And click on the network and next. Type in your password for that network. And click on next again. And it's connecting to the network. And the operating system application will now check for updated. And click on yes, and synchronizing the clock. Checking for updates. This will take a little while to check for your updates and download the updates. So I'm going to go away and I'll be back in a few minutes after it's done updating. Okay, we're done updating. Said system is up to date, so you just click on OK. And setup is complete, and you just do a restart. Alright, now we're booted up. So now we've got the Raspbian operating system, Raspberry Pi operating system. And you got all your menus and everything else you can choose from. So